This is not a real estate. And if you're looking to join us for those, that's every Monday and Friday. This is the rental income property 101. We're trying to keep you on your toes. See if you're
Wow.
awake.
I think that's the first time you ever messed up an intro.
You know what? It was still gorgeous though.
It was gorgeous. That is you are a true artist, my friend.
All right, let's just jump into this. All right. So if you have any questions, reach out, comment, direct message us, and we can either respond on air or off. You already own a home and know what entails and all the process it takes to get here. So if you're looking for the home buying 101, that's probably another weekend. This one, you at least gone through the process before and looking to start your investment journey. And what are some of the reasons why you want to start your investment journey? Steady income, looking for something in retirement, something savings. Your house maybe has some appreciation in this current climate. Values definitely have gone up. You're trying to make lasting wealth. You need to diversify, and real estate's always a good way. And you want to invest in properties to build wealth. So it's about kind of expanding, taking everything to the next level. So if that's what you're looking to accomplish, and that sounds like you probably came to the right place.
If you want to have more of a financial future and not rely on just your investments and your job and your 401k, as you know, right now, unpredictable market, you definitely want to diversify. So how do investment properties build wealth? Well, they have cash flow. Rental properties create monthly cash flow. Rental properties have the ability to increase with rent increases. Then you have the average home price, or average rent prices in San Diego will vary between $1,825 to $2,750. So for a lot of you out there, that's a lot of money. And if you think about it, where can you get money coming into every month where you know somebody has to live? It's San Diego. Then you look at average rent increases in San Diego, it's around 4%, 2.7 in bad times. Right now, Vinnie, would you classify we're in a bad time for the pandemic? What do you think?
I mean, right now it's a tough time, and it's a unprecedented time, being that some people are out of work, and you would think based off that situation, the stay-at-home order and things like that, that you would see a change in showings, offers. The one thing that it has done is done the opposite, right? Where less properties on the market, less supply, is still steady demand, and what happens there? It goes like crazy. So, yeah,
great reading.
You would not predict this, but that's what's going on right now. So, you want to jump into future appreciation?
Yeah. So I asked you that because you led right into this. You were the perfect Roland. So what Vinnie just mentioned was the weird situation we have going on right now is there's less houses on the market, which means more appreciation, which means your investment properties have the ability to increase in value, but it's not always
a certain.
Right on. Thanks for saving me. So now in bad times, could your property lose value? Yeah, they could lose value for sure. That's going to happen eventually. The market can't go up forever, but it's hard to look at San Diego and go, when will we have a massive increase in housing supply? Because we have a lot of people trying to move here. So future appreciation, great reason for buying around properties.
Yeah, let me jump into this. So the market goes up, it goes down. All right. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. Right. Unless you think the US economy is going to take a dive, it's going to go back up even if it goes back down. So that's why we tell everyone that's looking to purchase is focus on that monthly payment. And with rates at historic lows, right, that monthly payment should be doable to be cash flow positive, break even, or be at least give you a starting point. Because if you're looking to buy a property, renovate the property, and resell it, I don't want to make any false assumptions that the market's going to keep going up, up, up. Every 10 years, it seems like it's like clockwork where it goes up, it goes down. And we're talking about 2007, 2008. So the market should be going down. It's just a matter of when. So if someone's telling you the market's going to keep going up, 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 well, they're probably having a good old party and having a couple drinks. So,
and they may be in the top 20% of realtors.
Top 20%. Yes, that's a running joke if you watch our market updates.
Which you should turn in for.
As renters pay your mortgage, your appreciation also goes up. Okay, so it's not just necessarily the market, it's also about what you do to your property. So you could upgrade your property, you can add square footage to your property, you can even do like maybe an ADU to your property. And what the guidelines being read up a lot right now, a lot of people are taking equity out of their property and then building an ADU, a granny flat on their property, and so they're having some kind of cash flow right there. So if you're watching this, there's so many different options out there in taking the next step. So if you have any questions, reach out to myself or David, and we can help you out with that. And then the last one, building wealth, is tax write-offs. So rental properties are tax deductible. Improvements can be written off. You can appreciate the property for more write-offs. Tax, insurance, mortgage interest, all written off. Now, we're not CPAs.
We are not.
And, we can at least give you a kind of an overview of what's possible.
So if you think about it this way, when you improve your house and you put a new patio deck on or a bathroom, that's not tax deductible. On rental properties, that is. The other thing that's very interesting on rental properties is HOAs you pay monthly. They're not tax deductible for you as your primary residence. But when you have a rental property and you have an HOA, it is tax deductible. There's a lot of benefits for the tax write-offs. The tax write-offs also will lower your total income, which means that reduces the amount of taxes that you pay. That's a great area to look at. Unless you like paying taxes and you're really excited about paying, more of your money away, rental property is a great way to help you save money.
Ooh. And maintenance. That last one right there, we just kind of went over it. Maintenance is another write-off. So how do you get started? Yes, you need money. You can pull out money of your current home, cash out refinance. And again, if you bought, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, your rate is probably higher than it is now.
Even a year ago.
Yeah, we've talked about this before on other ones of this, that, right now you could possibly get in the 3% for an investment property. Okay, that's 3% interest rate. Now, if you would have got a 3% interest rate on your primary residence, maybe a year and a half ago, you would be pretty happy. But now you can get that in your investment property. So just to think of how low rates have gone.
And for the foreseeable future, for the next year, it is projected to stay in that similar area unless we have, all of a sudden COVID is cured and everybody recovers and restaurants open back up and everything goes back to being perfect, which I don't actually think is going to probably happen.
Until July.
Till July? Oh, okay. So how else can you get, money to get started? Well, for some of you who are more savvy, you can actually do an IRA with real estate investment accounts. That's a really unique instrument as far as how you can use your retirement account. You can pool money with other investors, which once again goes into be careful who you pool your money with, because you may jump in that deep end of the pool and not realize what you got into. Make sure when money's involved that you pick the right partners. And then if you already have a great loan on your home, you already refinanced recently, and you're like, wow, I should have pulled out cash, but I didn't. You can get a HELOC. HELOCs are amazing. They're cheap. Just be careful where you get them. They can end up being adjustable, which means the rate will change, and that means the payment will change. So be really careful with that. All these ways that you start this investment process, you need to choose wisely and make sure you have a game plan, because the money you pull out to do all these projects, you have to make sure you really thought it through, because you always want to be able to afford what?
Any issue that could pop up.
And the monthly payment. I was hoping for a save there, but you didn't help me out. Okay, cash is king, but cash flow is magic, people. Money coming in each month to you is amazing.
Now,
what happened?
So this right here is going over the forecast. And if you looked over what's happened over the last year, you see the values have gone up. And yes, if you've gone over the last 10 years, you'll see the values have gone up. Yet, like we've already talked about multiple times, be careful to assume what happened the last 10 years is going to happen the next 10 years. So focus on that monthly payment, focus on items kind of coming about. Treat this as today. And if you're going to keep it for, let's say, 20, 30 years, then you're probably going to be at a higher value than you are today. Yet be aware that the market's probably going to go down in between that time.
And we also showed you that picture because San Diego is a unique environment in the fact that we have ocean on one side, we have desert, and we have mountains. We have 3 different areas in one region, which makes it a highly desirable area to buy in. So keep that in mind too. What's most important to you about your investment property? Well, you need to have a goal, just like anything else. Like if you want to work out, your goal is maybe lose weight. If your goal is to get a promotion, you got to do certain things. So with goals and properties, you need to figure out what's most important to you. Is it the monthly cash flow? Do you want to get the highest monthly cash flow you can? Do you want the ability to increase rents yearly? Good question. Or are you just looking to get your first investment property and later plan on cash flow or rental increases? Is appreciation most important? This is an interesting one because Vinny's going to jump in here about some different neighborhoods and stuff like that with the appreciation. Do you want to buy an area that has the greatest yearly appreciation? What kind of neighborhood would that be?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things we've kind of gone over, right? Of the market. So being strictly reliant on the market, right? For a yearly appreciation, right? And the market's going to go up, it's going to go down. So if you're not focusing on the market, right, then maybe if you get a single family home, duplex, property like that, you can add on, right? Now you're adding appreciation, right? Another way of a community appreciating is when it's gentrifying, right? So when you start seeing renovations happening to the community, right, and slowly bring the values up. So it can be a negative word to some people because what's happening is they're paying lower rents over a period of time, but it brings the rent up and brings the values up. So be aware that when you're looking at appreciation, it's not strictly on the market, right? Let's say if you're a condo, there's less things you can do to bring the value up because you're just focused on the inside of the property and you're more reliant on the market. When you're talking about a single family home, a duplex, triplex, anything like that, you can actually add onto the property and bring value to the property there that way.
Are you looking to buy an area with lower appreciation because of price? Is that your goal? Are you price sensitive? Or do you want to buy because the appreciation down the road because of your financing improvements like Vinny mentioned, which let's take, for example, North Park's been a great turnaround for a lot of people who aren't familiar with areas of San Diego. North Park, certain streets have witnessed phenomenal turnaround where you bought at a lower price there and then the surrounding area is completely built up and the rising sea lifts all boats. So the other thing, what's important is it the safety of your investment. So for a lot of you out there, getting rid of your money that you work so hard to save makes you feel nervous. How do you prevent that? Well, safety of the investment. Is it the location of your property? Are you buying in a really nice neighborhood? Or is it the stability of the rent you're going to get, which now goes into who do you rent to? Got to think about those things. Or is it long-term tenants? There's short-term tenants. Short-term tenants pay more in rent. Long-term tenants make you sleep better at night. You got to look at all these different things and go, what's most important to you about buying the property? The cash flow, the appreciation, the safety investment. A lot of things to think about.
And then understanding your goals too. So as I've already kind of alluded to and talked about a little bit, was single family homes, duplexes, 3 to 4 plexes, understanding what's the positive and negative of each one, right? So there's probably going to be a higher cost to get into each one of these properties, right? The more doors you have, right, the higher the cost usually, unless you're factoring in different communities and different areas. If you have one property, right, you have one person paying you rent on a monthly basis, one person maybe asking you for repairs, items to go on in that unit. So if that tenant moves out, you're basically not getting any kind of cash flow. 2, same kind of thing, but if you have one person not paying, well, you still have the other person paying. So things to really balance out. The same thing goes for 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. So understanding what you're looking to accomplish with each property is going to be beneficial. And of course, the higher you go up, right, in the rent that you're charging, the less people can actually pay that amount, right? So at let's say the same square footage, a house has the same square footage, but you're talking about 2 doors instead of 1 door, right? That means that you're going to get probably more applicants looking for that property because there's more people that can qualify for it. So just things like that to be aware of when you're looking to purchase a rental.
You know, Vinny, you brought up an interesting point. You shared something yesterday with me. You were sharing the prices of downtown condos per square foot in comparison to inland is now pretty similar. So for a lot of you who don't understand what that means, it means downtown used to be very, very expensive per square foot. It has now come down in price because of the current environment. That provides opportunity for you to be able to pick up a rental property while things are down.
Yeah, I mean, understanding what's going on in the community and the different hyper markets is going to make it a lot easier for you to find out better values. Because if you watch our market updates, you'll know that we have, again, more properties under contract than we do have active on the market right now. Okay, we have probably as a whole about 3 weeks of inventory in this market. Yet when you're looking at subsectors of this market, you're talking about some that are a month and a half of inventory. I mean, so just understanding the different markets is going to help you out immensely in finding out quote unquote value in this market.
This slide we went over, Vinny touched on all this. Personal opinion of mine, the more renters you have, the easier you sleep at night. So think about 2 and 3, 4 unit places. Is there a wrong property to start with? Yeah, of course there is. If you pick an agent in the top 20%, you may get the wrong deal to start with. Running joke. So wrong property to start with. What do we need to look for? Remember your goals here, your financial situation. Can you afford to lose a renter? Do you have reserves for things when they go wrong? Because guess what? They will. Can you bootstrap and work on the property yourself? I love that one, bootstrapping. So, for example, going to use myself, I have a large set of Makita tools. Why? Because I've had to work on properties over and over. I bootstrap and do the work myself. You need to learn how to do simple things on the property if you want to save money and invest your cash flow later instead of giving it all away to other people. And do you have the patience to work with people? Because guess what? Renters will call you when things go wrong. You can't just simply be the slumlord and tell them, don't worry about the toilet, it's just clogged up, it's fine. You can't do that. You have to work with people and understand there's humans involved, and you've got to take responsibility. So,
and then let's look at some ways to prevent you from choosing the wrong property. Know the neighborhoods. Know the area you're buying in. Okay, what's the average income? What's the average rent paid? What's the crime rate? For the rent, I would say rental meter is the easy one. Crime rate, crimespot.org or spotcrime.org. I mean, our different platforms you can look at and understand that it doesn't matter what community you're in, there's gonna be something that happens in that community. So look in the area that you're currently living in, and then look in the area that you're looking to purchase in. That'll give you kind of a good reference point of what's going on there. And then we'll look at the rate of appreciation, and then average renter turnover. What's the age of it? What's the age of the home? Deferred maintenance, right? The age of the home. One thing to be aware of too, and we've had this on one of our tips of the week, is there's a difference between the actual age of the property, right, or the year the property was built, and the basically the new what?
Usable life, like the usable life left in the property.
Well, no. So there's actual year the property was built, and then there's the effective year the property was built. So be aware of the differences there, right? So if it's an effective year the property is built, that means that they added on enough to the property to basically classify it as a new property. So be aware of that, because some of the house might actually be of older age, and so might have copper piping in there while PVC is on the other part of the house. Deferred maintenance, piping, electrical, roof. You're going to probably do a home inspection, I would assume, during escrow if you are buying a property to assess these things. I know how much life you have left in each of these items. Is it permitted or non-permitted work? Okay, talk to your realtor about that. I mean, there's going to be some properties that maybe weren't permitted when they were built. Understanding, okay, what would it take to actually get permitted if I wanted to go through the process of getting something permitted? And then parking, zoning, legal, upside, average cost per square foot. What improvements can be done to bring in more rent?
Example, like think about when you were a renter and you're like, wow, I really want a washer and dryer at my place. That demands more rent. Think about, wow, when I work a hard day, I want to be able to come home and park my car. Does your rental unit have parking? Is it easy to park? All these different small tips, they sound small, but they will all add up when you have great parking. You don't have deferred maintenance. You can look at it and go, hey, I actually bought this property that's 2 units, but the zoning is 4 units. So you can add 2 more units. All these small things add up to money because we want that scale right there tipped heavy on the money side. Learn about mortgages and great CPAs. So listen, you're buying non-owner occupied properties. Rates are higher on non-owner occupied properties. Duplexes have higher rates than a single family residence. Everyone thinks that interest rates are the same for everything. Interest rates vary per the house type, from condo to single family residence to duplex, triplex. All the rates are different. When you're buying as an investor, typically 25% is the magic number you want to put down to get a good interest rate. Can you do it with 20%? Yes. For some of you out there who are more savvy and thinking, hey, I don't even own a home yet, but I'm going to buy a 3-unit place with an FHA loan, you can do that. So a lot of options will open up as long as you're thinking outside the box and you have quality people helping you. Also, more equity in properties means you get a lower interest rate as well. Why does that come into play? If you actually get a good deal on a house in a good appreciating area, it gives you the ability to maybe refinance later, lower the rate again, increase your cash flow. Then CPAs. Well, some of you wonder, it's like I could go to H&R Block and get my taxes done. Yes, this is true. But you get what you pay for. Good CPAs save you a lot of money. They save you money on recapture taxes. They may be able to help you forego other losses and carry them forward to save more money. A great CPA, worth their weight in gold, especially for those of you out there who are selling properties and exchanging all the time. Your CPA can really help you avoid a lot of taxes. And then honest friends with the contractor. Can't say this enough. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad lenders out there. There's a lot of bad realtors, but there's a lot more bad contractors. And you hired the wrong contractor to do an improvement on your house. Next thing you know, that $10,000 job is now $40,000. Make friends with an honest contractor.
Oh, this is where you love right here. Some formulas to help you. There we go. You want to take this over? I know you love these ones.
I actually do love this one. Okay, so a lot of you go, what simple formulas could I use to help me get a better rate of return on my investment? Well, cash on cash returns. This one, I like this because you have to look at it and go, hey, I saved all this money. What can I do to basically make sure I got a good rate of return? Well, example, cash on cash returns. So you buy a rental at $700,000. Down payment, 25%, $175K. Your annual cash from rents is $3,500 a month times 12, $42,000. You just divide the rents you collect, $42,000 for the year, by the down payment. You have a 24% rate of return on your cash. Absolutely phenomenal. Better than S&P 500. Insane. Vinny's going to jump in and destroy my investment here, but
great return. I mean, if you can get that return, then yeah, I mean, let's do it. Usually you're shooting for 5%, 6%, 7%, somewhere around there. If you're getting 7%, 8%, you're sitting pretty. So 24%, I mean, you're getting that all day. You should be jumping up and down.
You're starting your career towards Warren Buffett.
Yes.
So next one. So the next slide that we got pulling up right here, another good one I like, net operating income. Net operating income. So you look at this. What is it? Because you heard Vinnie talk about knowing how to afford the monthly payment. How do you look at that and go, well, what formula could I use to make sure I can do this? Here's the one. Net operating income. It's annual income less annual expenses. So example, you bring in $42,000 in rents from our example, but it costs you $12,000 a year to operate that property. That means you're really only making $30,000. Now divide the $30,000 you really made by 12 months. That means you're really making $2,500 a month. Is your mortgage $2,500 or less? If it is, you know you can service the property. Things can be taken care of even when they go wrong. And you can sleep at night. So I like the net operating income. It's a great formula to use. Final one, payback period. So everyone looks at this and goes, oh my golly Wally, I saved all this money. When do I get paid back my cash that I'm investing? So example, you put down $175,000. You have $42,000 that come in per year from rents. Your break-even point to get back your money is 4.17 years. You use these formulas on simple properties that you're looking at, you will find it will be able to immediately point out, hey, this is good, this is bad. And if you use the cash on cash returns and your agent's in the top 20%, you may have a 1% return. Not good.
Know the numbers. All right. What else do you do to protect yourself? Learn California renter laws. Even in this current climate, it's even more important of taking on a renter. Okay. California protects their renters pretty drastically. Only hire a highly qualified realtor and a qualified lender. Do you need a property manager? Do you not need one? Learn the cost. I mean, the costs are really going to vary. I mean, you're probably looking about between 6, to probably like 8%, and they're going to take that off the top. So just be aware of if you need a property manager, plan on things going wrong because they will go wrong. Great insurance is better than cheap insurance. Now, hopefully you can get both. Yet understand, get a home warranty, get the insurance, get protected. So if something comes about, you want to basically be protected and not, have a major issue happening. And then realize you're playing the long game to create wealth. Be prepared to take some risks. They're calculated. Cash is king and queen. You need to operate and ensure you sleep at night. Okay? Buy rental units, live in one for a while, and you fix it up. I mean, this could be a great one right there. I've had clients where they'll actually move into one of the properties, start fixing it up over time. Once they get it set up, they basically buy the next one, rent out that unit, and work it over time. So it's things to really think about and to figure out what you're looking to accomplish, especially if you're military. You have that VA eligibility. That could be a good avenue for you. And always ways to increase value. This equals increased rents. And always look for ways to decrease costs, but never screw over the tenant. Be aware of that. I mean, if you have a good tenant that lives there, 5, 6, 7 years, that's going to be a lot less headache than having a tenant that's switched out every 6 months or every year and constantly trying to find someone new. Now that you have the basis, go look at property. So what do? Again, hire a great agent and a great lender. If you need to understand what quantifies a great lender, a great agent, watch our market. Google someone. Try to figure out, if they don't have at least a footprint online, there's probably something going on. Know the areas that you're looking to buy in. Look at the rents. Look in the improvements. Use the formulas. Know your goals.
Be patient. Boom. I unfortunately made a lot of jokes today about the top 20% realtors. Could you just share a little bit about that, Vinnie, really quick? Because I know that joke probably went over a lot of people's heads. Because
there was a breakdown that over the last 12 months, right? If you sold one property in the last 12 months, you're in the top 20% of all realtors in San Diego County. Now, I think it was like three deals like that, and you're in the top, I think it was like 10 or something like that, or 8 or something. It was something crazy like that. So, just understanding who you're working with, who you're talking to figure out what's possible. That's the biggest thing, is understanding who you're talking to, understanding tell them your scenarios, because I mean, I've had some clients, and I know David can attest to it too, that he's had clients where they've talked to another person, another lender, another realtor, asking if something's possible, and they find out that that person just didn't have the knowledge base, right, to accomplish what need to be accomplished. Yet it's possible to do that. It's just a matter of they didn't have the tools available. So do some research. And if you have any particular questions, reach out to myself or David. We'd love to be a resource for you.
And we really appreciate your time. We're doing these short and sweet because we know you got other things you want to do today. And we really appreciate you tuning in. Check out our market updates. Vinnie also has a podcast. Check that out. And we're hoping to add some more videos to keep this short and sweet, just to get you some knowledge starting, to get you on the path, because you're probably like most people, you don't want to work forever. And this pandemic has made you realize that things are uncertain and not as stable as you once thought they were.
Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Bye.